Kevin Sullivan wrote the foreword in your book. And I really think that Kevin is a guy that just does not get the credit in the history of pro wrestling that he should. I mean, I remember the days when I first started picking up pro wrestling magazines and seeing pictures of Kevin down in Florida, doing his gig with the snake and the makeup and the whole mystic thing. And I was like, oh my God, this guy is the scariest man on the planet. And then Home Team Sports in Maryland picked up on my cable network, and I got to see the Florida Championship Wrestling. And from there I was like, oh my God, this Sullivan guy, whoa. And it just never stopped. And it's just funny that Kevin is so underrated. Could you tell everybody a little bit about Kevin Sullivan and just what you think his place should be in pro wrestling history?
Yeah, he's one of the smartest people I've ever met. And if you read the book, he taught me so much, including life lessons that I live by today, and I taught my kids. But he's so smart in a lot of different ways, not just the wrestling business. And he was the creative behind a lot of what you saw. Eric made the signings. Kevin certainly didn't sign Hall and Nash or Lex Luger, but Kevin was the guy who took the ball and ran with it. And really, without Kevin Sullivan, I don't think you'd see a heel Hulk Hogan in a million years. And so yeah, he's just. I remember growing up in championship wrestling from Florida and watching the Devil, as they called it, and I don't know if you're allowed to say that these days, but I just did, I guess. But yeah, and then there's a very underrated angle that most people haven't seen. It was at the very, very end of championship wrestling from Florida before it went out of business, where he started coming out of the fog. And it was one of the most entertaining things I think I've ever seen in professional wrestling. And Kevin forgot about it. And I found one interview and I sent it to him. This is years ago, probably 10, 15 years ago. And he was like, oh yeah, I remember that. And it was the finish was he was supposed to team with Dusty Rhodes, but that didn't work out. And he ended up teaming with Blackjack Mulligan. So Blackjack took that spot. But against Dory Funk Jr. and Humperdinck, and yeah, he was coming out of a fog. He literally, it was didn't know where he was, and the promos were fantastic. Some of the most, if you could find it out there, and you like that kind of stuff, I would beg you to see it. And yeah, just a smart guy all around, so kind to me in so many different ways. It's almost like it was meant to be, because the first live wrestling show I ever went to, Kevin Sullivan was in the semi-main event. We've been on this journey together since I was 11 years old, and he's been a guide and a great friend, and love the guy.